Hello, everybody, and welcome to another story time with Easterseals and USF Health Service Corps, the group of volunteer students from USF. We appreciate them taking the time out this evening to read to our clients, and we look forward to having them with us going forward. A little bit about Easterseals. We are a disability company throughout the state of Florida. We serve children and families throughout the lifespan. Here in Tampa locally, we have early childhood facility, and we serve Head Start and community-based children. And in addition to our disability mission, we're really focused on preparing children for kindergarten and increasing language and literacy skills with all the support from the community and Easterseals. So I'd like to introduce Ellen and her USF Health Service Corps group. Welcome, Ellen.
Thank you so much. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Great. Thank you so much. So the beauty of the Service Corps is that our wonderful community partners like Jen with Easterseals can reach out to us and then to request student volunteers. And our program is very interdisciplinary, very interprofessional. So I invite our wonderful students from USF Health and from all of USF Health, all of USF to participate in this program and other service activities. And right now, our students are participating in this reading program and reading virtually. And hopefully next fall, we'll be back to doing things in person. And then our students will be able to volunteer with Easterseals and read to children in person and also help out with a lot of other projects and activities. So we're excited about that and we look forward to that. Until then, we have some wonderful students who have been reading throughout the spring and reading great stories to children, which they can view with their parents at their own time since we're recording everything. So today we're going to have 4 stories focusing on the topic of spring. And again, parents will be able to open up the YouTube link and your children can hear our students reading these wonderful stories at any time that it's good for you. So we will start with our first group of volunteers who are wonderful students from the Judy Genshaft Honors College. And and they will each introduce themselves and their story. Thank you, everyone.
Hi everyone, so my name is Divya. I'm part of the Judy Genshaft Honors College Volunteering Committee, and we hope that you guys enjoy the spring themed books that we have. So the first book that we're going to be reading is The Hungry Caterpillar.
The Very Hungry Caterpillar by Carle. In the light of the moon, a little egg lay on a leaf. One Sunday morning, the warm sun came up, and pop! Out of the egg came a tiny and very hungry caterpillar.
He started to look for some food. I'm so hungry. On Monday, he ate through one apple, but he was still hungry.
On Tuesday, he ate through 2 pears, but he was still hungry. On Wednesday, he ate through 3 plums, but he was still hungry.
On Thursday, he ate through 4 strawberries, but he was still hungry. On Friday, he ate through 5 oranges, but he was still hungry.
On Saturday, he ate through one piece of chocolate cake, one ice cream cone,
1 pickle.
1 pickle. My screen is lagging, so I think I'm seeing the slides a little later. 1 slice of Swiss cheese.
1 slice of salami. 1 lollipop.
One piece of cherry pie. 1 sausage.
1 cupcake, and 1 slice of watermelon. That night, he had a stomach ache.
The very hungry caterpillar then ate through 1 green leaf. He started to feel better. Now the caterpillar was no longer small. He was a big, fat caterpillar. Little, big.
He built a small house called a cocoon around himself. He stayed inside for more than 2 weeks. Then he nibbled a small hole in the cocoon, pushed his way out, and a beautiful butterfly.
So that was the end of our story.
That was a great story. Do any of our students like to plant flowers or take pictures of butterfly flowers?
Yeah, I really liked gardening, but it's so hard to take pictures of butterflies because they do not stop moving.
That's for sure. And actually, for parents, that's a great activity that you can do with your children, is to encourage them to grow flowers, to encourage them to grow butterfly flowers, um, and to even encourage them to take pictures. So thank you for sharing that. Can anyone share with us some good places to see butterflies in Tampa?
I know that I always go to the USF Botanical Gardens and they have a nice little butterfly garden right in there.
That's exactly what I was going to suggest. The other thing that I was going to suggest for Tampa families, because I know that Easterseals has a very wide reach, there are the Florida Botanical Gardens on Elmerton Road in Largo, and they're free. So that's another good resource for parents. And actually, I believe that they're going to be breaking ground on a children's garden this spring. And again, that's free for parents.
That's a wonderful resource. Thank you for sharing that. I was not even aware of that. I know that I've myself visited the USF gardens for butterflies, and it's very beautiful out there.
Well, we will be visiting it this weekend, so hopefully I can send you some photos and some info that you can share with the Easterseals families. They
Wonderful.
say that this is it's a good time to go before it gets too hot for the butterflies.
Yes.
Great. Well, thank you, Honors College students, for sharing that. Isha, would you like to share your story now?
Yes, I'll go ahead and share my screen. So the story I'm going to be reading today is And Then It's Spring, written by Julie Fogliano and illustrated by Aaron E. Steed. First you have brown. All around you have brown. Then there are seeds. And a wish for rain, and then it rains. And it is still brown, but a hopeful, very possible sort of brown. And is that a little green? No, it's just a brown sort of brown. Then it is a week. And you worry about those little seeds. And if maybe it was the birds, or maybe it was the bears and all that stomping, because bears can't read signs that say things like, please don't stomp here. There are seeds and they're trying. And then it is one more week. And the brown, still brown, has a greenish hum that you can only hear if you put your ear to the ground and close your eyes. And then it is one more week. And a sunny day, that sunny day that happens right after that rainy day. And you walk outside to check on all that brown. But the brown isn't around. And now you have green. All around you have green. And then it's spring. So it's a short little fun story, but it's about having patience when you're gardening and kind of how the seasons come about. That's how you'll be able to plant your flowers and they'll bloom right when it's time for them to come out. So I hope you enjoyed this story. Thanks for letting me share.
And thank you. And again, parents, that's a great activity to do with your children. And what I'll do also for you, Jen, is I can send you some resources that you can, if you'd like, that you can share on your website for parents about gardening for kids.
Sure, we would love that. Thank you.
Great, because it's such a good science experiment and growing and nature. And if we go outside now, it's safer to be outside. So it's all good. And it's great exercise, all that bending.
Yeah, thank you for that resource.
Sure. Well, thank you again, Isha. And now I know that our Honors College student group has another great story they'd like to read.
Sorry, I swear I just had the full screen up. Oh, sorry. I don't know, it's not working anymore.
It's okay, Angita. We can read pretty clearly. Your screen's like zoomed in quite a bit.
Okay, let me see if I can. No, I can't zoom it in anymore.
I can
But
also share the screen if you want.
yeah, I can't get it to zoom past this. I had it full screen before. Okay. That's weird. Okay, do I have to stop it?
Is that good?
Yeah, that's good. That's perfect. So Shades of Color by CO Connections. What is this? A rainbow is an arc of colors that appears in the sky.
The first letter of each of the colors of the rainbow spell out the name Roy G. Biv. Let's plant a rainbow.
The rainbow is made in a certain order. First red, rare, early, dark. Red.
Orange. Opened, remarkable, admire, nature, graceful, enormous. Orange.
Yellow. Yard, earth, live, love, opal, white oak.
Green. Grand, real, exquisite, elegant, ice, nice, green.
Blue indigo. Blooming, lovely, unique, endless. Blue. Indigo. Ink. Now, dot, deal, glorious, odd.
And violet. Velvety, imagine, outside, light, endless, tranquil.
Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet.
That was a great story. And again, springtime is a great time to get outside with kids to do painting activities or chalk. So I'll try to get you some resources for that too, Jen, to share with the parents. Does anyone remember using chalk on when you were kids? How much fun that is?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And there's a lot more chalk that they had for you than they had when I was growing up. Jen, did your kids like to do chalk activities?
Oh, yes, most definitely. That's one of our regular activities.
Great. Great. Well, thank you all. And again, another nice thing about springtime is it's a great time to see rainbows. In the summer, after the summer storms. So Isha, would you like to share with us your story now?
Yes. I'll pull it up.
Thank you.
So we've talked a lot about gardening and we saw some beautiful flowers in the story that was just read. So now we're going to see how Lola plants a garden in this story. Lola plants a garden. Mary, Mary, quite contrary, how does your garden grow? With silver bells and cockle shells and pretty maids all in a row. Lola loves her book of garden poems. Her favorite poem is the one about Mary, Mary. Lola wants to plant a garden. Mommy says there is room near the vegetables. Lola gets books about gardens from the library. She chooses her favorite flowers from the books. Mommy makes a list. They go to the garden store to buy seeds. Lola and Mommy make the garden. The seed packets mark where the flowers are planted. Lola will have to wait a long time for them to grow. Lola makes her own flower book while she waits. Mommy types the Mary Mary poem and Lola glues it in. Lola makes a string of bells. She finds shells and some old beads. She even makes a little Mary Mary. One day, Lola sees tiny green shoots. She pulls up weeds so the shoots can grow. Lola's flowers grow bigger. They open up to the sun. Daddy helps Lola hang her shiny bells. Lola finds Mary Mary a special spot. It's just perfect. Orla, Ben, and Ty are coming to see Lola's garden. Lola and Mommy make cupcakes. Lola wears her flower shirt. Mommy helps Lola with her hair. Lola's friends love everything about her garden. They share the crunchy peas and the sweet strawberries that Mommy grew. Then Lola makes up a story about Mary Mary. What kind of garden will Lola plant next? Lola, Lola, extraordinary, how does your garden grow? With flower seeds and shells and beads and happy friends all in a row. The end. I hope you all enjoyed.
That was a great book. How many of you remember having gardens as kids? Shizzy, did you? And where was your garden?
It was right outside my house. We had a really big house then, and like in the, I want to say compound area, like the porch area, like just a little off it, there were these nice flowers that I used to plant. And sometimes my mom would plant vegetables. And we had a pumpkin tree that came in from the neighbor's house around the area as well. It was really nice.
Cool. And where did you grow up?
I grew up in Nigeria.
Cool. Neat. And was it the in the area that you lived in, did a lot of people have gardens?
I guess so. It was more of a personal thing. So my neighbors did. I do remember them having, but I can't speak for like everyone who lived in that area.
Cool. And what kind of vegetables did you grow? You mentioned pumpkins. What else did you grow?
We it was mostly greens and leaves that we ate. So a lot of these names, I know they're ethnic names. I don't know them in English. So yeah, but they were mostly greens.
Cool. Did you grow any squashes?
No, I don't remember those. No.
Neat. And there were pumpkins.
Yes, there were pumpkins. I didn't grow those. They came like it was a leaning tree for some reason. The neighbor had like a pumpkin tree, and then pumpkins used to fall into our house sometimes. I guess like
Cool. I like
not big Halloween pumpkins, not those kind of pumpkins. Like they were really small. It was a different species, but my mom said they were pumpkins. Ooh.
cool. Does anybody else remember any gardening adventures? I think yours definitely beats all of ours because it's so far away. Does anyone else remember any gardening adventures?
I just remember like in school we would always have that kind of, I guess, science experiment of the lima bean, and you plant it and you know, I feel like that's the classical memory from elementary school with gardening.
That's good. How about you, Divya?
One thing I remember is like we also did the pinto beans, but for like Mother's Day in school, we planted a tomato tree and we got to take it home after a couple of weeks letting it sprout. And so then we let it grow outside my house. It didn't last very long, but I at least got, I think, about 2 tomatoes out of it.
Cool. And where did you grow up?
I grew up in Florida.
Great. And Injitha, how about you? Do you remember any gardening adventures?
We garden like all the time, so I've been gardening for a while. But we have it in our front and our back and our sides. Like we have plants everywhere, but we don't have like a lot of area. We have like plants inside the house, just like lying everywhere. um, yeah, this one's real, but we just like we garden a lot. And my dad, he gave me like this little plant when I was young to take care of it. I took care of it for like a week and I got bored, and then he ended up taking care of it. But now that I'm older, I feel like I definitely do it, like garden more. Since he goes to work, I water most of the plants and like take care of them now that he goes to work more, I guess.
Great. Does anybody grow vegetables at home?
Yeah, we grow a couple of vegetables, and some of them are like a little ethnic, but we do grow like tomatoes and beans and eggplants and bell peppers and peppers. So
Cool. And those are all plants that grow pretty well in Florida.
yeah, I think tomatoes are like they grow extremely well too here, especially in like our area is not really good for growing stuff. It's really sandy, but tomatoes one of the few things that grows really well.
Great. And again, I'll send you some resources, Jen, that you can share with parents about gardening. Jen, do you have any, have you had any success with gardening with your family?
No, we haven't. I mean, we have flower beds, but we have not been able to keep a vegetable garden. So so we'll just stick with the flowers.
Well, it is tricky right now. I wish I had a camera on my computer, because my office at home is next to the backyard garden, and my husband's growing everything in pots. And so we have a lot of eggplants in pots and a lot of tomatoes and squash too. But it's tricky because in the summer it gets really wet.
Yeah,
So we don't be,
there's a talent for it for sure.
yeah. And Isha, did you say that, do you have any plants at your house?
Yeah, my parents really like gardening. I know we have like a little mint plant going out, and so whenever like my mom can like make food, we just like take the leaves off and use that mint. So yeah.
Cool. Well, this was great. And thank you all so much for joining us. And our next session will be the third Wednesday of May. And we hope that the students enjoyed today's session. And we hope that the parents and children affiliated with Easterseals will enjoy these books. And we hope that you can, as parents, can encourage your kids to read about and to practice gardening.
Thank you, Ellen, and thank you to the USF Health Service Corps for volunteering your time to read to us. So I hope all of our families have a wonderful evening. Good night.
Good night, everyone.